Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As Mallory said, my name's Gordon Colborne, and I've had the privilege of leading the assessment and the judging of these awards for the last 4 years. Before I share some insights on the judging process, I'd like to say a few words about this year's entrants, in particular about this year's finalists. As Mallory said, this is the largest gathering and the largest number of finalists we've ever had in the history of the awards. We've selected over 60 companies who we're going to talk about tonight, from almost 100 entries. In addition to the 5 industry awards, there are a number of special category awards, including environmental improvements, customer service and support, logistics and fulfillment, sourcing and procurement, and for me, one of the most interesting, supply chain innovation. When we talk about European awards, these genuinely are European. Our finalists this year come from France, from Germany, from Ireland. You're very quiet from Ireland. I can't believe that. Oh, you can, alright. Aoife's from Ireland. From Spain, from Sweden. The next one's noisy. From the Netherlands. Okay, how did I guess? From Austria, from Greece, and of course there are 1 or 2 from the UK. They always bring down the tone of the place. So once again, I'm really delighted to say that the standard of finalists has been very, very high. In the 4 years PRTM's been involved, there's very clear evidence that the bar is being raised every year. And there's no doubt in my mind that the supply chain organisations that are here tonight, they all deserve praise for the way they're responding to the challenges that they face every day. I can also say with complete confidence that all of tonight's winners, you absolutely deserve the award that you're going to pick up. So Mallory's asked me to say a few words about how we've judged this year's entrants and how we've selected the winners. So all of you who have been involved in this in great detail will know that we asked you to provide us with quite a lot of information. We then asked you to make a presentation to us. In some cases we came back to you and asked you for even more information. And then we put all the names in a big hat. And then we pulled out a few winners. And in fact, here they are. Actually, that would have been a whole lot easier and an awful lot less time. But we would not have been able to say with any confidence that the people who won tonight would really have deserved it. So this is what we really did. When we look at the common characteristics of high-performing supply chains across industries, across companies, irrespective of their size and what they do, we see 5 things appearing fairly consistently, and we call these the 5 core disciplines. Core discipline number 1. We look to see how aligned the supply chain strategy is with the business strategy. And that may seem very obvious to you here tonight, but you'd be astonished at how misaligned the business strategy and the supply chain strategy often are. So that's number 1. I'm sure nobody in here is like that. Core discipline number 2. We look to see how simple, across the business, the processes line up. Do people all work the same way? Are they working towards a common goal? Do they do things in different ways? Do they work with different systems? And again, of course, none of you are in that situation, but we do occasionally find that. Core discipline number 3. How have you designed your supply chain organisation? Is it the same design that you had last year, the year before, 5 years ago? Or has it been designed with performance in mind? Has it been designed to deliver what the business needs and what the customer needs? Again, not often. Core discipline number 4. Have you really thought about what you're good at and what you're not so good at, and where you should collaborate and where you should focus your competencies? Somebody's obviously no. But it's really important when you're designing a supply chain. There are so many things that we see where organisations are doing things and you think, somebody else in the supply chain could do that better than you could. Why are you doing it? And equally, we look at other things and say, why aren't you doing that? That's core to your business. That should be something that you really focus on and you should be delivering competitive advantage from it. And the 5th one is, how do you measure success? And again, comes back to the alignment of the supply chain strategy with the business strategy. Are your metrics driving you to do the right things, or are they driving you to do the wrong things? And when you look at all 5 of those, and we look at the high-performing supply chains, it's amazing how consistent there is, the relationship between those 5 core disciplines and the high-performing supply chains we look at. So when we've looked at your entries, we fundamentally assessed them against those 5 core disciplines. However, if your entry was for a special category, say sourcing and procurement, logistics, we've looked at it slightly differently. Clearly, we've given less emphasis to those 5 core disciplines and more emphasis to the relative performance and the achievement of each of the finalists. And for those categories particularly, we gave extra special attention to the demonstration of innovation and the power of your commitment, the passion and the enthusiasm for what you've achieved. And that's how we judged. And so those people that you see up here tonight, I think you can say, I think we know why they're there. But before I finish and walk off and let you get on with your lovely dinner, I'd like to say thank you to a number of people who've contributed to making tonight possible. Obviously everyone who's entered and who's worked really hard to give us the information we've looked for, you're the real stars, and thank you for that. And it's been really tough for you, and I know you've put a huge amount of effort into what you've done tonight. Thank you very much.
Logistics and fulfillment is our 8th award, and it's sponsored by Kiewel. Making the shortlist are Argos, Argos Direct in partnership with DHL Supply Chain, Carlsberg UK in partnership with Gist, Diageo Ireland, Faber Music Distribution, IKEA franchisee for Lee Europe, Jaguar Land Rover, say it again he says, Lego Group, Premier Foods, Hovis Division, and the Delivery Company, Delivery Co. And giving out the award is Kiewel's COO for Europe, Jackie Boast. This category was very closely fought, and it had the largest number of entrants over which to deliver it. The judges awarded this trophy to a company that had the edge over the others in terms of their scope. They created a groundbreaking, first of its kind warehousing facility which covered the whole of Southeast Europe. The winning company is IKEA franchisee Forney Group. And collect the award from Trade Logistics, their MD, Anestis Patalidis.